Close Encounters of the Third Kind exploits the great interest in unidentified flying objects all over the world. There's great controversy over the origin of these objects. Are they of extraterrestrial nature? Why is there so little scientific evidence? Is government cover-up involved? Close Encounters was written and directed by Steven Spielberg, who was 29 years old at the time and had already produced Jaws, an all-time box office champion. Claire Olsen interviewed Steven Spielberg in Hollywood right after the release of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Feedback is terrific, and some of the people who have had UFO encounters do, tell me that it's very similar to the kinds of encounters that are in the film. But of course, the kinds of encounters that are in my film are based in part on the experiences of a kind of cross-section of people throughout the country who claim to have had second kind encounters, first kind encounters, and third kind encounters.
And third kind encounters?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
you worked with J. Allen Hynek.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you consult him, and how much did he influence you in writing the screenplay?
Well, the screenplay was written and ready to shoot before I met Dr. Hynek. And Dr. Hynek kind of met me because I had called the picture Close Encounters of the Third Kind, thinking that because Dr. Hynek had written a non-fiction book, almost a newspaper account of different experiences throughout the country, that it would be okay to use his title, but it wasn't. And Dr. Hynek called me and said, no, that's my title. And we got together and met in Chicago and liked each other immediately. And I said, could you be the technical advisor on Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which he was very happy to do. And then he read the script and showed me some errors I had made, where things were maybe stretching the imagination of UFO buffs a little too far. And he, from that moment on, he became our aide and confidant and consultant.
My husband was really into flying saucers in the 50s, and people laughed at him.
Yeah.
Flying saucers.
Yeah, that's a funny word.
But I mean, is that anything like a UFO?
Well, flying saucers, that's the derisive way of referring to a phenomena which still doesn't have any real explanation. I think there is a scientific basis to the mystery, but there really is no way to describe what is going on. No one really knows, at least I don't. But UFO is in a way that's the class act when you're talking about something that you might want to take seriously, even if your tongue is partially in your cheek. It's something that I think has enough going for it to have kind of like overcome that, that 50s pop culture laugh at, syndrome.
Do you take it seriously?
I do take it seriously. I really do. I don't know if I believe that UFOs are extraterrestrial, because I'm the kind of person who has to have a close encounter myself before I can positively say this is something that I'm going to get on a soapbox and proselytize and convince people they're out there and we should be receptive to it. Until that time, I have to take sort of a third-party position. But I think there have been enough sober reports from very reliable, multiple witness individuals who have all seen these things all over the world, not just in this country, but all through Canada, all through France, all through Brazil, Australia, you name it. They're really, for every, in a way for me, for every couple hundred square miles of land in this country, there are UFO reports.
Well, your own President Carter reported a UFO sighting twice.
Twice, yeah.
Has he seen the picture?
Last Saturday.
What do you think of it?
We haven't heard the direct feedback. We hear he liked it quite a bit, and we haven't really heard directly from the President.
In view of the fact that your own President has cited it, reported it, why is it that so many responsible people accuse the U.S. government of covering up UFO sightings, and why would the forces or the government try to do that?
Well, it's very popular today because of Watergate to blame the government for anything that we think we should know about that we don't know about. Dr. Hynek has referred to UFOs in America as a cosmic Watergate. There are several reasons why the government could be, withholding information beyond the Freedom of Information Act. The Robertson panel, that convened in the early 50s, decided that UFOs were not a threat to our national security, but could be a threat to our national security by clogging all the proper channels of communication, creating rumors. During the Cold War, when we were already frightened of the intercontinental ballistic missiles arriving in 18 and a half minutes, and the government was afraid that too many UFO reports could be misleading, could mislead our own facilities, our own NORAD facilities, into thinking that what looked like a non-specific, or looked like an uncorrelated target could be, in fact, an incoming missile. And they didn't want to confuse UFOs with a threat from communist Russia.